Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing another foundation review. I know it seems like I'm doing foundation review, concealer review, foundation review, and maybe I am, but there's been some cool new stuff and I want to try it. So hopefully this one doesn't disappoint me. I've had so many disappointments lately, but today I'm trying out not only a foundation, but also a concealer. Yay! So I'm going to be trying out the new e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation, as well as the 16-hour Camo Concealer. Camo. Oh wow, that was cheesy. Yeah, I'm not usually one to go for e.l.f. because in my mind there's still like this cheap, crappy little drugstore makeup section that I don't touch, which is weird because I've seen a lot of bomb products from e.l.f. that other people use, but I've just never really gotten into using them. So I figured it was time. This looks really good. This looks really good. So I'm going to try them both today and see what I think. Okay, so I got the shade Snow in the foundation. Oh, look at that, it's got a pump. This is really nice packaging. It's glass packaging and it has a pump. Oh, it's got kind of like a perfumey scent to it. Interesting. I had a hard time picking out my shade at the drugstore because they were very low on shades actually. I know that there's a wider variety of shades, but I picked it up at Superstore and they had a very limited quantity. They only had it out on one of those like front displays. They didn't have it in the actual e.l.f. section. I think there was like 8 bottles total and some of them were duplicates. So this was like the closest I could find. Hopefully it kind of works. It's fair with pink undertones, which is kind of what I go for. I usually go for neutral undertones, but pink should be okay. So we're gonna try that. And then in the concealer, I got Light Peach, which looked like the lightest shade. Honestly, it's kind of annoying that they don't have a numbering system because you can't really tell like, oh, is this one supposed to be lighter than that one? Or is this one supposed to be darker than that one? Oh, I love that concealers are using this bigger applicator. Like so many new concealers are using the bigger applicator since Tarte launched their Shape Tape. Everyone's kind of copying them. This concealer doesn't even have like any description to it other than just Light Peach. Like that is the description of the name. There's no number system, nothing. We'll see. It says full coverage matte. So this is supposed to be matte. I'm not even sure what the finish on this is supposed to be because it literally just comes like that, no other packaging. Oh, on the top, oil-free satin finish. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna apply my usual primer, my Cover FX blurring primer. I picked a good day to see the coverage on this puppy because I am breaking out like crazy. I've been off sugar for the last month basically, and I was hoping that that would help me not break out when my period started. Yeah, that didn't work. As usual, when I try out a new foundation, I'm going to use a brush to apply half of my face and a sponge to apply the other half. I'm just going to take my foundation and pump a little bit out onto a plate. 1, 2, we'll do 3 pumps. See how far that goes. As I said in one of my last videos trying out a foundation, I always apply my foundation with a concealer brush first, and then I go in with the brush or a beauty blender. So I'm going to start applying that on this side. Actually, that's like a perfect shade, I think. It's a little bit thicker than I'm used to, and kind of a perfumey scent to it. Not overpowering though, which is nice because that's not really a scent that I like. So I think I'm gonna do this side with a brush. Oh, that is really thick. Oh, that's actually kind of hard to blend out with a brush. Oh, that just like sticks to every bristle. Makes it really hard to move around. It's actually almost a little bit like baby powder, I think. That's what that scent reminds me of. Maybe a little more floral than that. That looks not too bad. I thought it was going to be really streaky because of how thick it was. There's a little bit of streaking using the brush, but it's not terrible. And like that coverage isn't terrible. Yes, you can see my big breakouts, but it actually evens out my skin tone pretty nicely. I'll do the other side with a beauty blender. Okay. This is definitely easier to apply with a beauty blender. It moves the product around a lot easier than trying to drag it across my face with a brush. But along with that, it also makes the coverage a little more sheer, I think. I'm just so not used to this thick formula. It's kind of weirding me out a little bit. It looks really good with the beauty blender, like the finish is really nice. Now, I said that this was supposed to be a satin finish, but I feel like this is quite matte as of right now. So I started with 3 pumps and that's gone, so that finished my whole face. But I'm going to go in with a little bit more and see if I can build my coverage. Especially like right around here, and here, and here. I'm just going to go in with my beauty blender for this because I don't want it to be super streaky. I'm just going to lightly bounce it into the skin. This color is perfect for me though. How accurate that it's called snow. Oh, by the way, you guys, it is 1:51 when I'm applying this. I'll be doing check-ins throughout the day to see how this wears. So far, I'm pretty impressed with it, but I do have to say, because of the thickness and because it's drying so matte, I would use a dewy or moisturizing primer underneath this instead of blurring primer next time. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. On to concealer. I think this might actually be light enough. I actually want to compare it to my L'Oreal Infallible, like I did in my last video with the Makeup Revolution concealer. So that's what it looks like. It looks nice and light, which I'm very happy about. In the bottle, it actually looks like it might be lighter than my L'Oreal Infallible, but swatched, it's not. So my L'Oreal Infallible is just a pinch lighter, and you can definitely see the peachy tones in this e.l.f. concealer. Okay, let's see how this applies. Ooh, feels very creamy. And definitely light enough for me to highlight with, which makes me very happy. The concealer actually has a little bit of like a paint smell to it. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, just on that initial like quick blend out, that applies really nice. It feels so good on my skin. And it's definitely light enough. Yay! Wow, that looks really nice. Now, since that concealer is so light, I am going to go in with my Fit Me concealer and try to cover up some of these spots a little bit better. I'm going to go ahead and set that with my Pretty Vulgar matte setting powder. I'm not going to set my whole face really lightly because I feel like this is such a matte formula that I don't want to go heavy with the powder. Okay, so far this is performing really good. I'm very impressed. This foundation is $8. $8. That is probably the cheapest drugstore foundation you can find. Granted, you only get 0.68 fluid ounce, so just over half an ounce, and most foundations come as 1 full ounce, but still $8. And then the concealer is $7. How much comes in this? Does it say? 0.203 ounces. And as a comparison, the L'Oreal Infallible has 0.33 and the Maybelline Fit Me has 0.23. So fairly comparable to other concealer sizes. I usually pay like $10 or more for a concealer, so this is just slightly cheaper than most other concealers that I would use. I'm gonna go apply the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. Okay, the rest of my makeup is on and I have some thoughts. If you are extremely dry skinned, you probably will not like this foundation. It has started to collect on some dry spots and look a little funny. So if you have a lot of dry spots, I would not recommend this. If you are oily, I think this will be okay. It does say satin finish, so I'm wondering how like shiny I'm going to get throughout the day, but we will see. The concealer has done sort of, I don't know what's going on with it. It looks like it's separating a little bit in some spots. And it's just some spots, not everywhere. Like this whole section here, up my nose, my forehead, chin, everything, it looks great. But just like right in this corner here, it's looking a little weird. So I'm not sure if that's something that's gonna happen every time I use it or if I just did something weird. I don't know. I don't know what that is. But my makeup all applied nicely on top of this and I think it still looks pretty good. And again, I would definitely use a different primer with it next time. I think that might make a difference too with how this looks. So regardless of how it looks at the end of the day today, I will definitely be trying it with a different primer another time. I'll give you guys a little bit of a close-up for right now. So this is what it's looking like right now. You can see like I don't even have a blemish right here. I just have some dry spots and it's clinging a little bit funny. And it's settling into my smile lines a little bit. So we'll see how that looks at the end of the day. Okay, I'll be back in a couple hours to see how it's going. Okay, I'm back. It's been about 2.5 hours since I applied my makeup. I don't usually check in this soon, but my sister-in-law and her family are coming into town in the next couple minutes, so I want to do a review before they get here, and then again before I take my makeup off at the end of the night. So let's see how this is looking. It looks almost exactly the same as when I put it on. It has settled a little bit into my little chin crease and my smile lines. Other than that, I feel like it's actually kind of sunk into my skin a little bit more throughout the day, and it's not looking as matte. It's looking more like a satin finish now that it's had time to sit and kind of meld into my face. There is a small patch missing from my nose because I had a little itch and I somehow managed to wipe it all off. So that's my bad. We'll just touch that up a little bit. Okay, I will check in again before I wash this all off at the end of the night. Oh, wow. My makeup is looking expired. Okay, guys, it is now 11:15. Makeup has been on for, what, like almost 10 hours, I guess? And it is looking a little rough. I definitely noticed that this is one of the foundations that starts to look better after a couple hours of wear, and then it starts to deteriorate. Yeah, it's pretty much all off of where all my blemishes are. Also, I've been doing a lot of this and like this and haven't been really paying attention to the fact that I'm wearing foundation today because I just forgot. So a lot of it has rubbed off. It's pretty much all off my nose and it's just patching away in funny spots and it looks quite bad at this point, honestly. But I also don't usually wear my foundation for 10 hours at a time, to be quite honest. So I think it looked really good up until about probably like the 6-hour point, and that kind of went downhill from there. So that's not too bad actually, and I did really like how it wore on my face for the first couple hours. So I will definitely be using this again, but again I would use a dewy primer underneath it, I think. Although after a couple hours it did look pretty good, like it started to look more dewy. So maybe I don't need to, but I'll definitely try it with a couple other primers. And then the concealer, I mean, that spot where it was patchy at the beginning doesn't even look as bad as it did before, but my like dark circles are starting to come through because I am tired. Honestly, my face just looks like a mess. I'll show you guys. Oh, you can see especially on the side where it's clung to my dry patch right here, and it just looks really bad on all those spots. But again, I've been doing a lot of this and touching my face, which is never a good idea. And then it's pretty much all gone on my nose. And it's got some weird patchiness happening over here. But for an $8 foundation, I think it held up pretty good. I will definitely be using it again. And I'm gonna have to figure out how to wear this concealer for it not to do that weird patchy thing. So I'll be trying both these products again. Okay guys, that's everything for this video. If you like these kind of videos, let me know what other products you would like me to try out and I'll do my best to try them out for you. And if you've already tried this e.l.f. foundation and concealer, let me know your thoughts on it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Make sure you're subscribed before you leave.